Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The sister is asking here, she was on her menses and she went for Umrah and she performed the Tawaf and she knew that she was on her menses. She was obviously an adult, but she was too shy to tell her family. What should she have done, and what should she do now, knowing that she's not allowed to do Tawaf on her menses? Now here there are a number of scenarios. The first scenario is that she didn't know. If she didn't know, then she needs to go back and complete the Umrah again, and there is no sin upon her according to the correct opinion. There's no expiation according to the correct opinion. There's an opinion of Uthaymeen and others from the ulama. This is because when a person passes the miqat and they have formed the intention and now they're in ihram, they must complete the act of worship, and it must be done correctly. And if it's not done correctly, then they have to go back and complete it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَأَتِمُّ الْحَجَّ وَالْعُمْرَةَ لِلَّهِ. Complete the Hajj and Umrah for the sake of Allah. Once you've entered into ihram and you've passed the miqat, you must complete the pilgrimage. So if it's not been done correctly, if a person has missed something out from the pillars, then you have to go back and complete it. If a person didn't know that, that this is how it should be done, then there is no sin upon them. La yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't burden a soul more than it can bear. رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا أَوْ أَخْطَأْنَا. Oh Allah, do not hold us to those things that we've done out of forgetfulness or mistake. Second scenario, she knew, but obviously she was too shy, but she just went with it. In that scenario, we say to her, perform the Umrah, go back and perform the Umrah, but because you knew, you need to give a fidya. Now the fidya here, some of them have said that it is a camel. What seems to be the correct view is that it is a sheep. It is a sheep. One sheep is sufficient for a woman on her menses who has performed Umrah incorrectly. And this is the view of many of the ulama. Some of the ulama, such as the Hanafis, have said if she just gives the fidya, then this is sufficient. What seems to be the correct view, because for them, the Hanafis, tahara is not a shart. Tahara is not a condition. Therefore, they have said if she gives the fidya, then this is sufficient, because she has completed the Umrah and she's giving fidya on behalf of her being on her menses. But what seems to be the correct view is that she hasn't completed her Umrah correctly. And she needs to go back and she needs to give a fidya. Third scenario, now this is a scenario of darura, and this is what Ibn Taymiyyah and even the Hanafis etc. have said. It becomes permissible for a woman on her hayd to perform the tawaf, which is she's there for a limited number of days. She's not from the people of Mecca. She's not from the people of Saudi Arabia. It's not easy for her to come back. She's on her Umrah and she's only there, and this happens really more to do with Hajj. There's a tawaf that needs to take place, and then the next day or the day after, or maybe 2 days later, she's going to go. And within those 2-3 days, she's not going to she's not going to finish her menses anyway. So what do you do in that scenario? Out of darura, out of necessity, a tawaf that needs to be done as a pillar of the pilgrimage can be done on her menses according to the view of Ibn Taymiyyah and others. And I think this is the more correct view if there is a necessity. And this is a view that's been explained to us by Muhammad Uthaymeen and others as well. So say for example, she is on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, which is the day of Hajj. And on this day you have to do Tawaf al-Ifadah, which is a pillar. And if a person doesn't do that, the Hajj is invalid. But she's going to be traveling in 4 days' time. As soon as the Hajj is over, she's gone. She's gone back to her home country. So we'll say to her, wait. And by waiting, we're going to see if the menses finishes. If the menses doesn't finish, then perform the Tawaf al-Ifadah and then complete all the other aspects of the Hajj that you need to complete, and then go home. Inshallah, the Hajj is valid. And the same thing when it comes to Umrah. If she's there for Umrah for a number of days, right, and her menses is not going to finish, and there's no one for her to take her back to the miqat or whatever it might be, which is not conceivable. I mean, if she's travelled all that way, there must be someone. But in this scenario, I would say that probably doesn't apply, but I'm just putting it in there anyway. She's gone for Umrah. She's there for a number of days. We say to her, wait. But now, because of the fact that she's passed the miqat and she's entered into ihram and her menses has now begun, You have to complete it. So what do? Your flight's going to be in like 24 hours. What are you going to do? Perform the Umrah whilst on your menses and complete the pilgrimage, inshaAllah, la yukallifu nafsan illa wus'aha. And you've completed the pilgrimage and you have removed the ihram, and then you can return back to your country out of darura necessity. So I would say, sister, look at your situation here and we'll see which one fits. For me, what seems to be the case and what is apparent, perform the Umrah again for the Umrah that you have done on your menses previously. So if you're going to go again, do it on behalf of that Umrah that you did incorrectly before. Inshallah, you'll be, inshallah, you'll not be sinful for the fact that you were shy and, you felt that you weren't able to, speak to your family. And if you can give a shat, which is a sheep, as an expiation, then please do so, and this would be safer and more prudent. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us of those who are connected to His house, and He makes us of those who reoccurringly and often go back to His house in Mecca so that we can perform the pilgrimage on a regular basis in a manner that He is pleased with us. Allahu a'lam, wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad.